And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Greg, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? 5 minutes.
All right.
Long enough.
There you go. How you been?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I am having all kinds of technical difficulties over here today. So I am just going with the flow with it. We're still going to have the show regardless of the technical difficulties. We're still going to make the show happen. Warning,
danger. All right, well, Robinson, that's okay. We're good.
I think the it's rainy weather here, or the inclement weather, or somebody sneezed at the internet provider company or something. I don't know what's going on, but whatever it is, it's causing me issues tonight.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm pumped. Maybe it's all the energy from me coming through the internet. I don't know. It could be shocking the system here. No pun intended.
Yeah, that's fair.
We're having a nice, really good uphill run with what we've been doing here together, within the Q podcast, you and I. It's just been some really amazing stuff. We've had some amazing guests. I think I was talking to you, in the green room before the show. I was checking out the analytics that we were having on some of our networks, and it's some really exciting stuff. That what's been happening and these guests and what we're providing, and I got to thank a lot of the people that follow me through PV and especially the DJ Entertainment School, because I see these people come in time and time again. They're my regulars, and the people that I had gone through not only with the school but through Current Entertainment as well. And their followers, their supporters, they help share this, and I'm blessed and I'm humbled, to have these people as associates and friends. I like to call them all friends. And
speaking of sharing the show, and speaking of that type of thing, if you guys are watching right now, number one, thank you for doing so. Please drop in the comments and let us know who's watching and where you're watching from. And number two, hit that share button and share it with everybody, because we've got a very special guest on tonight, which is very close to my heart, because I'm an old school hip hop fan, and we've got one of the original pioneers and member of one of the original groups of hip hop. And so I am very excited about tonight, and you guys should be as well watching.
Yes. And he's gracing us with our presence here tonight. So it's going to be, I'll even let the bomb drop a little bit. The guy Gabe is going to be a fun guy to talk. No. Where's the drum roll when we need one? We got to start adding the sound effects. But we actually Keith Shocklee from Public Enemy will be joining us tonight. We got some questions we're going to ask him as well as what we've been doing with everybody recently. So look how we had Rob Peters last week and Rob Schwartz last week. And I thought that was such a fabulous show. And speaking of reach, that was one of the things that I saw that was really some amazing stuff. So, and I have to attribute it to both of these guys, both of these gentlemen. Both of those gentlemen were professional. They were great. They were both interesting on both sides. Rob Peters with his bubble parties, and then Rob Schwartz with whomagtv.com. Some really cool stuff. Who, by the way, says hi to our guest, Keith, who's sitting back in the green room, probably hopefully watching to the show. I was looking through Rob's Schwartz's stuff, and I saw the Keith Shocklee interview. So I was actually excited to see that. So, that was last week. So,
right.
Speaking of that, why don't you should have gotten a couple emails recently to the In the Q email. Did you get what I got?
I did. I got a couple of emails about some logo ideas.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Not bad. Okay.
Yeah. Let's restate. Like literally, we have a contest going on. We want somebody to make a theme song for us, and we also want somebody to draw up a logo for In the Q podcast. All right.
There we go. See, I told you I was going to have issues tonight. I don't know why this is happening, but I usually never have issues with internet, and tonight it's happening, but I'm back.
Thank God you gave me the keys to Ronald. Oh my goodness. We're getting some crazy people. Hello, Ron. Hello, Andrew. Thank you, everybody. I'd like to say hello to those that pop in and join, but don't worry about it. I got the keys to the car, so I can help drive along. But
yeah,
really,
if I disappear, just keep it rolling. I'll be back.
no worries. No. And yeah, that was fine. Yeah, we could bring in the boys, no problem at all. But we were talking about the theme song and the logo. We've already got a couple submissions, and you know, we're not going to say who is in the running, but I think how did we get so far? Two or three, maybe.
I have two myself that I've personally seen so far.
All right, somebody texted me a picture. I said, "Are you kidding me? You gotta email us." So I don't know, two, three, which is good. You know, I've had 4 or 5 people say, "Oh, no problem with the theme song. I'll help you out." By the way, I gotta send a shout out. DJ Barista is one of my newest students, and I love this job because I get to experience DJs from all types of cultures. This guy, we were listening to some really, really cool soca, soca and Caribbean music. And yeah, he's a really cool guy that I'm going to learn a lot from. And I'm going to show him, the tips of the trade. So all that being said, anyway, back to what we were talking about as I digress. Our theme song, email us at hello, HELLO, at intheqpodcast.com. Okay. And the name's right above us. You email us a theme song that you've made, and or a logo. We're going to put you in the running, for a prize, and we'll probably announce it. What do you think? End of March. We're going to give them to the end of March. Is that correct? Is that a good idea, Dave?
Yeah, I think we'll go to the end of March, and then we'll assess where we're at that point. And if we've found the winner, then we'll announce it then.
Yes.
If we haven't found the winner, then we'll maybe do one more round of it, Right. And if you and I'll tell you right now, guys, if you're not sure, like if you're not artistic yourself and you're not sure how to do this, seriously, go to Fiverr. Go to Fiverr and just say, hey, I'm trying to win a contest with these guys for their logo for their podcast. Like, I don't have a problem with that. You probably get somebody to help you out and make a really cool logo. That's true.
Yeah. No, great idea. Great idea. All right. Well, look, our theme has been recently, what's one of your side hustles? What's one of the things that you do to help get you through coronavirus now that everything is shut down? Now that if you were a mobile entertainer, a singer, a band guy, a DJ, a hypnotist, a clown artist, I don't care what you do. Things are shut down. You can't go to these big venues and social distance. I mean, a lot of the guys that listen to us are DJs, or entertainers, or in the band industry, or singers. They thrive on non-socially distant activities where people are up against each other. To us, that's a great night when it's a packed house. Am I wrong, Dave?
Oh, I agree. I absolutely 100% agree.
Yeah. And that is, it's an important thing, in what we do. Now we have to think of outside the box and what we can do. And one of the things we all wanted to do is, wow, let's make some music. And I hear from so many people that they're messing with this program, they're messing with that program. So it's kind of been our theme, and we've been talking to DJs that have songs, people that are now on the charts. Mr. Jeff Rush. We talked to Millie Mill and Quad. All right.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. Look at Ronald.
Ronald is, I have to say, and big props to Ron. Ron is the guy that when you come to the DJ Expo with us, and we're at the BPM Supreme party, or we're at the PB party hanging behind the velvet rope with Keith Shocklee. Oh Jesus! When we're doing all that kind of stuff, this guy will be buying us bottle service. Ron will be buying us bottle service.
Nice.
So, yeah, Ron is a really good follower. He's followed Keith. He's followed, the PV movement, and he's been following us. And, Ron and his wife Dee Dee. So big shout out and big love to these guys. So anyway, with all that said, we've got 2 guests. One is Gabriel Schwartz. He's one of my PR guys. He's been working behind the scenes, with In the Q, helping us out. Really testing out and being, our PR guy with the guests, interviewing them, talking to them, letting them know what's going to happen before the show. And he's really one of my top guys at Current Entertainment. He's different thing.
Well, it's nice to have that support too. You know what I mean? It's really nice to have that support, and I can't help what Gabe is. Can't help but thank Gabe for what he's done to really help us kind of get the word out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like any new venture, it's one of those things. Like any new venture, you just have to be happy and rely on the people that they're there to support you and continue to keep building something.
If we wanted to dub him right now, we could dub him a production assistant for the show, literally, from what he's done. And I think I have to really say the success that we had in the analytics that I saw last week, because he was on fire last week, Gabe, with what he was doing. And I was like, well, you did what? What'd you do? And he started naming all of these different things in the marketing that he was doing. I was like, oh, dude, this is going to be awesome. So yeah, he put his best foot forward. So I'm going to ask him some things about that. And Gabe was with me all through these expos and things like that. As I evolved in the 30 years through the DJ Expo and became the guy that I was. Now, look, I wasn't on the wedding side of the deal. I wasn't hanging out with the big boys, like Bun or Mike Walther or was it Big Daddy? God love him. Love Big Daddy. So shout out to Big Daddy, by the way. I was actually partying with the Senate boys, with Keith Shocklee. And, Keith's taking me out, through the pool at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like, and he looked at me, Greg, you see, we're going to feel the vibe tonight. I'm like, oh boy, I'm in for fun tonight. But it's experiencing that, experiencing the energy. And that's when I learned really, and I wasn't a young boy when I learned this, that to feel that energy and really let loose, because as a DJ, I've developed a social anxiety disorder that if I go to a concert, if I go to an event and I'm not in charge, or I don't have a job and I'm not the DJ, I have a problem being there. And if the bigger the concert is and the more people, and if I'm not near an exit, I'm going to start to drink heavily or try to chill myself out in a different way because of what we or I have done as an entertainer. It's just I've always been, in charge of something. Hell, put me to door. But regardless,
I totally get that.
With that said, all of this couldn't be done with networking, and that's where Keith comes in. That's where Gabe come in, because Gabe actually showed me a picture of him and Keith at a New York DJ con, because Gabe was following us around back years ago. And when I met this guy, Gabe, it was all during the left branch of the pros going this way and my change in life and what I was doing with the companies. Gabe came in at the right point in time, and he's been a guy that really has had my back ever since. So we've done some cool things, with some different companies. So I'm really excited for both of them. So without further ado, let me stop unless you have anything else to say, and let's bring Gabe in really quick.
All right.
Because I want to say hi, Gabe. How you doing? All right.
Doing great.
Yeah. I kind of look. He's DJ Gage. He started out. You were a raver, right, back in the day?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, you got your influences as you traveled. Now you traveled to Israel, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's where you got the fire and the fever for doing what you do.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Look, you're one of my top guys with promotions, especially with this show. You're also a member of the Senate DJs Black House. You're a brother of mine there. Big shout out to the Senate DJs and they're having a meeting tonight. Every time they have a meeting,
dramatic. Hey Soho.
Yeah, if they're not here, they're at their meeting. So if they're here, God bless them. You're also a member of the International DJ Cafe South Jersey chapter. You show up all there. You, as well as Dave, are also now writers for ProMobileDJ.com. So welcome, my brothers. Yeah, my future, brother writers. And yeah, that was a great thing, and that's a great website. You're also a traveling man, right?
Oh yeah, I love to scuba, surf, anything out in the sun.
Okay, yeah. That's not the traveling man I was talking about, Hiram. Come on. Now, for those that don't know, and if I was talking in code, you're a mason. Or are you a master mason?
Yes, I'm a master mason.
You have passed the 3rd degree, correct?
Yes, and I'm an elective officer.
And you're an elective. Well, with that being said, then you're the senior warden, if I'm not mistaken, for those masons out there that know what we're talking about.
Junior warden.
You're the junior warden. Okay, all right. Well, very soon you'll be the senior warden.
Yeah.
and then you're going to be looking towards the ETH. Good man. All right. With that being said, you know what? Who are a couple guys that you toured for, or you've toured with? Yeah.
Some of the staging I've done was the 1975 pop band. We did video wall with them through Visual Infinity.
Okay.
Country singer Cole Swindle did something with him over in Wind Creek.
Okay.
Darcy Lynn, who's been, I believe, in America's Got Talent. She's the ventriloquist and singer. We did a video wall for her.
The dude from Dire Straits. You opened for him, didn't you?
Yeah.
Mark Knopfler.
Mark Knopfler. Yeah,
Yes.
he was out at the Met Philly about 2 years ago, and did the beer garden for that, and Marina as well. And
all right.
Some other staging there. Mm-hmm.
All right, and you're also you're a full band, because what we said was that with the side hustles, you do audio, you do video, you do it all, correct?
Yeah. We worked. I've worked on teams doing sound effects for Hijinks Festival or Skrillex, Bass Nectar, Porter Robinson, Slander, Excision.
Cool.
Yeah,
all right.
Fun stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Big
Nice.
Earn, what's up? Big Earn, what's up? What's up?
What's up, Bigger? Another follower. And I haven't been able to see. Yeah, there's DD. That's Ronald's wife. So how are you, DD? Yeah.
Hey, DD. Last time I saw Ron and Dee were at Jeff Rush's birthday party last year. Great to see you guys.
Oh my goodness! Wow, I see that. I missed the party. Now I remember that we were partying. I think it was what I can remember was the BPM Supreme party. And then I think that's when I ended up with Keith. And he was getting me back there. Who was there? Biz and all the guys that are in the pictures. I put the pictures up front because that was one of my really fun times out there in the world. But anyway, back to you, buddy.
Real quickly, I want to just say thank you to D Hayes for subscribing just now. Thank you for your subscribing.
Oh yeah, everybody, please, if you're just joining us, hit the subscribe button, especially if you're at intheqpodcast.com, because right now that just forwards to our YouTube page. Okay, and we're just trying to get as many possible subscribers as we can. If you miss any of the episodes, you can catch them on YouTube, or they're also available on Spotify, Anchor, which is
Apple Music.
Yeah, Apple Music, and Google Play Store, or the Google Play podcast. So you can get them. You can get them there.
I just got to say too, real quick, Greggy C. I am really vibing off of Gabe's sweatshirt right now, man. That thing is pretty cool.
This
is that a skull?
No, this designer Philip Plein makes stuff like this. This isn't Philip Plein, but his shop closed down in King of Prussia. But I found something similar. His stuff is great. Yeah.
All right, shout out to King of Prussia, PA. Then, all right, nice. Look at you being all fancy and glam, and you have the drums behind you. So obviously, here's one of a couple questions that I ask everybody. What musical instruments do you play besides the guitar and the drums? Tell me you play the guitar and the drums.
I play the guitar and drums, yes, but I'm learning. I should say I'm learning more the electric right now. I love it. This new Fender. It's beautiful seafoam color. It's great. Okay. Anyway,
what else? What else do you play besides the drum?
Didgeridoo.
The what?
Didgeridoo.
The hell's a didgeridoo?
It's an Australian instrument where you resonate your voice. Like Jamiroquai had one album filled. Like I think Traveling Without Moving is why I want to learn the didgeridoo. Sometimes I bring it to the beach. So after I'm surfing,
I play with big long wooden instrument. Down.
Yeah. Yes.
It's got a very deep. Yeah, and it's like a yeah. A didgeridoo. Okay. Yeah. Very, very interesting choice of instruments there.
Yeah, and some keyboards. Since I'm really interested in this this new vibe with more aggressive tones and like a sultry female vocal behind it, like as if you're driving down the Pacific Coast Highway at night, and you're just it's like you guys ever familiar with Eric Prydz?
Yes.
Yeah. So more aggressive like that. But anyway, excited for the show. We got a Keith Shocklee here tonight. Wow. Yeah.
No, look, but the only other thing, look, a couple questions that we ask all our guests. Where do you see yourself 5-10 years from now?
With Current Entertainment.
Oh, look at there.
Good answer.
Look at there.
That's nice.
What?
I envision a more of an impresario role where I could, utilize my vendors and
good
entertainer, all the talent to create bigger events.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, Dave. Anything?
I'm Ronald said kiss an ass. Oh, look at there.
Ronald knows. Yeah, that's right.
He put you on blast a little bit there, Gabe.
I'm just being me.
No, hey, I'm just excited that, like I said earlier, I'm excited that Gabe's on board with us. I'm excited to have him being more actively involved, and you guys are going to see Gabe on the show more too. We're gonna be sure to get him on the show with us more often because he's definitely made his commitment to us and to In the Queue and what we're trying to do here. So, Gabe, we appreciate that, and I am ready. If you guys are, I am ready for Greggy C to read off our next guest. Bio, so we can get him on here because I have been chomping at the bit since I knew this was happening.
Yeah, to do this. And Gabe, sorry to push you through with the boom, 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 and finally we're done.
All good.
But yeah, no, I you all know, Gabe, you know, David knows, this gentleman, Keith Shocklee or Wizard K-Jee. Put me up on that big screen there, Dave. He's an American.
Bring him up.
Yeah, no, put me up on the big screen first.
Oh, your fault, my bad.
Yeah, that's okay, buddy.
There we are.
Keith Shocklee or Wizard K-Jee is an American hip hop producer and DJ. He's an original member of Public Enemy and the Bomb Squad. He contributed his talent to several albums, including It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back and Fear of a Black Planet. Keith Shocklee also co-produced the singles Bring the Noise and Fight the Power, which were included on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. He began his career DJing at various parks and house parties and clubs in Strong Island, New York City, baby. He did that during the 80s. We're going to talk about the very first rap record, Fatback Band, featuring King Tim III. So we were discussing that in the green room. So we're going to discuss that with Keith as well. So one of the Bomb Squad's first songs was produced in his mother's basement and recorded on tape. Wow, an acetate. So for the old heads back in the room that don't know what that is, maybe we'll discuss that, or that'll be one of the questions. Look, he's also since gone on to work with some of the following huge artists like LL Cool J, Ice Cube, Janet Jackson, Sinead O'Connor, and many, many other big name acts. So after Public Enemy's first album release, Keith helped create their production company, the Bomb Squad. It's the first production team in hip hop, and they produced Ice Cube's first solo album and opened the door for many different opportunities. 2013, Keith was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Public Enemy. So we have a Hall of Fame member in the house. He's also, along with Public Enemy, got the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. And for all intents and purposes, as he should be, this man is in the Smithsonian. No comments from the Peanut Gallery, Ronald, and kissing butt. But yeah, he's in the Smithsonian Institute. I mean, so without that, ladies and gentlemen, Gabe, David, a nice big round of applause as he comes onto the screen, Mr. Keith Shocklee. What's up? How are you? That's all right. You know, I also forgot to mention, you know, while he's doing his work, he's a fellow sponsored PV electronics artist and has been for several years now. How long have you been sponsored by PV, Keith?
I can't even. You know what? I'm bad with math.
It's all right. I mean, as long as Eddie Van Halen has, we going back.
My taxes be wrong.
Go back to the 80s, or
I think I must say maybe since 2014 or 15.
Okay.
Yeah, around there.
All right. I think I've been with him about
maybe it was 2015.
Okay.
Hey, Didi's in the house.
Oh yeah, DD, Ron. We got a bunch of folks there, and they're on totally different.
I don't see all the folks.
And what they'll do is, if you're on different networks, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you got a question to ask. Please, we're in control. Certain comments, as long as they're good and good questions, will come up. If you want to ask Keith, Gabe, David, myself, any questions. But basically, as I go through that awesome bio, we're here because we want to talk about what is it? Connective Music Group. Is that correct?
Music Group. See, I got PV speakers in the background. You'll see the PV speakers.
Wait. What are they? The dark matter? They got dark matters?
No. I got the SP4, the passive speakers in here.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yo, this shit. When I do my sets, it's like a nightclub in here. It's crazy.
I can tell. I was gonna say I can tell by the lighting.
I've seen it. Well, you painted your walls green. Keith, your walls are green. That's beautiful.
Yeah. That's my green screen.
Yeah.
I did my whole room. So when I rock the green screen, it's like how I look at it. It gives you like a 3D effect, not like the most people put the sheet up behind them. Nope, mine is like mine is immersed. I've seen you rocking out on. This other kid, my man Buck Rogers, he kind of worked with me a lot on some of the technical spots, but then I went in and went even harder. Like I said,
that dude's out of control on his streams.
I got the idea from the girl that kind of pushed me through on Twitch. She works with artist relation, and she used to be one of my DJs before we got to PV. And when I used to work with JBL, do the same thing I do for people with JBL, then left them and went to PV. My girl, she calls herself Tiger Mom, DJ Toy. She kind of works with artist relations, and she said we was talking. She said, "Yeah, Keith, you need to get on Twitch. To forget about Instagram." She said, "You know what? I'm getting this new apartment, and I think I'm gonna paint it green, and so I can have my green screen, the whole room green." I'm like, it's like looked at her like, hey, that's kind of crazy. Why would you paint your whole apartment? Then I thought about it like a month later. I said that was a brilliant idea. So I painted half my studio green. So it's like actually a green room. So I could do some Star Wars stuff in here.
Yeah.
No, I've seen your Twitch. I've seen your Twitch. It's hot, man. It is hot.
It's a lot of work.
But
cool.
You know what? It pays off.
Come follow me on Twitch. Dude, tomorrow, since we're talking about it, tomorrow I do my 45s. My 45s. It's all 7 inches on Twitch. 7 inch, all 7 inch.
Nice.
45.
Yeah, man.
Kill and tell old school stories. There might be some gangster stories in there. I got some gangster stories. Not from me. My friends I grew up with.
All right. Well, you got to keep the interest, right? You keep the interest, and you get those subscribers.
There's music stuff too. It's that music. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to tell. I was trying to tell David, because David's not used to the Atlantic City scene. Gabe is. I said, I got Keith in my face at 1 o'clock in the morning saying, "Greg, we're gonna go feel the vibe." But it's right though, because you know what, we're performers, and that I learned that's the energy. That taught me, and I was talking to Dave and Gabe earlier. I have almost a social anxiety disorder as a performer, and that right there, just feeling that energy almost allowed me to let go and not think of what else could happen if there was a stampede or something. I'm always thinking of the weirdest stuff if I'm not working. If I'm working, it's a different story.
Yeah.
But getting back to all that, look, talk to me about the Bomb Squad. I'm really we're talking. That's the first production team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By accident,
really.
Yeah.
So how did it come about?
It was just the problem was it was in hip hop. The Jimmy Jams and the Terry Lewis and the Funk Brothers and the Calloway Brothers and his whole production team. Well, as hip hop, we was we were just a group. But Chuck likes to name everybody. He likes to have something with a name.
Okay.
So just like he gave Buster his name, he gave me my DJ name, and the leaders been Charlie Brown and them with the leaders and the young black teenagers and that kind of stuff.
Oh wow!
I said like we needed y'all. We need a name. He said, I'm gonna call y'all the Bomb Squad because we just was dropping bombs for either doing artists or remixes.
All right.
And here's a small history note. As far as remixes, we was the first production team to get points on a remix. I mean, we started the $20,000 remixes. So, hey, DJ Gray, Indiana.
What's up, Gray?
So we was getting a $20,000 remix. This was like in the late 80s, going into the 90s, because we was doing artists and sending them to #1 with our remixes. So my brother, who's a brilliant mind when it comes to negotiation, went back into the labels and said, like, okay, you want a remix from us? If your song sells over like the single, if your single sells over like was it 5? I think it was like 5,000 units or something like that. 5,000, not 5, yeah, 5, no, 5,000 units. We want a point. We split it almost all of us because we want a point on a remix. So we're getting points on remixes.
Oh wow!
Nobody does that. You ain't never gonna get that again. That world. But we was getting it like that.
Oh, wow, that's hot.
That's how I know his big Ron come through. We started a lot of things that just out of we was DJs and party promoters before records. We was excited. We was in record pools. I used to have to leave school in the 11th grade from Long Island to go up to Harlem, like 11th and 12th grade, to go up to Harlem and get my records, because my brother and them was working. He was out of, at college working, and I used to go up there and get my records from the record pool. And sometimes when you doing great feedback and you playing in the money, you paying the money on time, you get to move up in status in the record pools. So we started to move up in status in the record pools, and the more status you get, the more records you get. Because like if there's 100 people in a record pool, now if a label gives you 50 of a hot record, only the first 50 get it.
I got it. Then
we had to figure out how to get doubles from them. Yo, why can't we get doubles? Because one turntable, we need you need 2 copies of it.
Right.
So we was getting all that, and I'll leave school, and this was at the time of Manhattan in New York was bananas.
Yeah.
It was like everybody would get stuck up. I'd have to, find a bag or old duffel bag if we had one, and if you got more records than your duffel bag can hold, you just hope nobody would we used to go up on 125th Street. You would hope nobody would look at you and want to rob you. Like, what you got in the bag? This was Manhattan when they had PSAs of how to ride on the train. Like, listen, this is late night. To be safe, please ride in the middle of the train. That was a PSA on TV. Please ride in the middle of the train near the conductors so you wouldn't get robbed or stabbed if you wasn't on the 10-car train and you was at the back. Because that's where all the violence would happen.
Old school New York, the boogie down
New York.
Boogie down Bronx.
No more.
No sleep till Brooklyn. I get it, man.
But I mean, that's kind of built us who we are.
Sure.
We are from Long Island. I did go to private school. Chuck went to an engineering school.
Okay.
From private school back to a public school. So so we had the best of both worlds.
All right.
All right. The DJing was it.
I had a question for you, Keith. Talk to me about life on the road with Flavor Flav.
Yes.
I really didn't go out on the road that much, but I can tell you, hanging out in the streets of Roosevelt with him.
Yeah.
I was like, when they went on the road, me and Eric, man, we was the ones always in the studio. Me, Eric, and my brother. So the rest of the crew, when they doing the tours, we in the studios trying to figure out. And it was weird because we got into remixes because after I came back to them after the first album, like towards the end of the first album. No, after the first album, it was in the middle of Takes a Nation. That's when we started getting into other stuff, and I started doing more production with the other artists that we had, and did a lot of the joints adding to the other beats and stuff like that we was doing. And me and Hank and Eric had to figure out, you know, well, how we gonna make some money while Chuck and them is on the road, and you know, you're opening act, and you know, you're living off per diems, and there's no real money coming in. How we gonna make money?
Yeah.
So we just started to do production for other people. You know, it was small. So going on the road with them, I did one tour. What was the tour? I think it was a tour of 88. Tour of 88. And Chuck grabbed me out the studio to do the sound for the tour of 88, because at that time, this was the first winter rap tour. Mm-hmm. And, you know, because all the tours back then from the 80s on through, it was always in the summertime.
Yeah.
It was always summertime. So they never thought of a rap tour. You know, this is, you know, we were breaking grounds, man. Like we had to, you know, Chuck convinced them, like, yo, we could do a winter tour. So Def Jam and Kid Darrell Brooks, that used to, from DC, that used to do Chuck Brown and all of them, got together, and everybody, you know, came in, and Chuck said, Keith, I need you to come do the sound. I was like, word? I was like, oh, that might be cool. That was the worst shit I ever thought of doing. I would never, because it was early, I would never do sound like that again. Now I'm different. I'm skilled more. I was the first one in the arena and the last one to leave.
Last one to leave.
I had to make sure everything was set up properly. All of the wild groups that was coming in from the Hammer, EPMD was on us. That's the Sonic, Ice-T, you name it, across the country. You know, Ghetto Boys, all of them. I had to make sure everybody did the sound check and make sure shit was popping and who had this and the sound was right. The sound man was getting it right. And I was like, all right, I make shit in the studio. I do some engineering with my cousin Eric, but that shit was brutal on me. I did that shit and quit. I quit on them. I'm like, I quit. I ain't doing this. I ain't going back out on the next tour. I just stayed in the studio. But that was the, you know, Flavor Stories. Man, it was. He's like he is right now.
Yeah.
in his 60s, he was like that when we was in our teenagers. It's like he never changes. That's my man. We
still
never
got all that
changes,
energy. Great.
He's funny. He's accident prone, but he's funny.
I can still remember thinking back to seeing the group on In Living Color too, right? You guys were on In Living Color before, and I can remember that like it was yesterday, man. Just so crazy to think about how much time has passed between now and then, but still remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, even that with even going on Soul Train, Don Cornelius. I mean, like out of all the groups, Don Cornelius, they never had a group like we were on there. You know, Militant, S01Ws, and Don was like, whoa. We was like, oh, this is like, you know, Rakim and them had, you know, I know you got soul kind of shit. Everybody had that kind of stuff. Curtis Blow and all them. They had the different style. We came in like a rock band.
Yeah.
It was like a rock band getting down. And he was like, oh, Flavor running all over the place. Yeah, see what's up. He couldn't, they couldn't comprehend. The audience got it.
Yeah.
Some of the people, but it was like, you know, got the other people in on it, but like a lot of people in the audience got it. But that was like that whole moment, man. Being on Soul Train was like, it kind of took it to the next level.
Would that be the time, or if that's not the time, what would be in your mind, the definition, the time where your head kind of clicked and kind of said like, wow, we've really made it. We've really made it like serious. Would that be the time, or is there a time maybe before or after that for you? At least?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was that.
Yeah. That's fair. It took that long.
Fair. It took that long to sink in what we've done at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. When you gotta understand, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is packed. I'm meeting all the superstars, man. Like Neil Diamond, man. I'm taking pictures with Neil Diamond. I'm like, man, what? That shit was like crazy. And it was like, what was this? Yo, we was on the red carpet, and all of a sudden I just happened to turn like to my right, And I was like, oh shit, Neil Diamond. So I stopped all the cameras and grabbed me, Hank, and Chuck, Flav. I said, nah, I need this picture right here with us and Neil Diamond. I said, my mom's gonna love this. She gonna love you for this. That was that rock and roll, sitting down with Harry Belafonte, going over stuff.
Wow.
With the civil rights. Yo, man, that was it. That was it for me. And anybody can say nothing else. I mean, all this coming up into it was cool because we didn't treat it like anything. It was like, okay, we was here to do some music, have some fun, try to make a change. I mean, it was impactful. That Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was the moment I was like, I could die in peace now.
Well, that's definitely well deserved, and like Ron, like Ron said, I was gonna say that's definitely well deserved, and like Ronald mentioned earlier, you guys have definitely made that impact, and definitely have influenced, multiple generations really of not only just human beings but artists alike. So that's definitely a well deserved honor for you guys.
Thank you. We because when we started, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was kind of new, wasn't like that. But then at that time, you had to be nominated for, so even though Flash and them got in the first ones to get in and all that other stuff. But when I just sitting in the chair and it said Roosevelt Long Island. When they put Roosevelt Long Island, like as they, because they did the edits, but as you sitting around Public Enemy, Roosevelt Long Island, and that was like, wow. When I saw Roosevelt, that's when it kind of, wow. And it was all from my mom's basement.
That's amazing.
Wow. Very, very cool, man. Wow. Yeah, that actually, you rolled right into that one because I really wanted to know about that and you hit it. How about the Lifetime Achievement? Now, that's a Grammy Lifetime Achievement?
That's a Grammy Lifetime. Well, I couldn't go. They only took the 4 members, and it was during COVID. And it was like, because I was setting up a whole an event for that.
Oh, okay.
Before COVID hit, and that's why I was getting PB involved because we had this spot called it's the Wisdom in LA downtown where they got like the art district. So they got this 3-dome facility where it's interactive, the whole dome where you can have visuals up on the dome and the sound is like in 4D. I call it 4D, 4-dimensional, because it goes all around the whole dome. And if you got great stereo mix of a performance or quad mix of a performance, that shit sounds crazy. So we was turning that shit into like Roosevelt, like where you came in, where we had the entrance was like Centennial Park. We used to do all the park parties during the basketball era. And so, we had all that going on. Then, I had EA Sports, the sponsor, and we had a lot of shit. And then all of a sudden, we even had Rolls Royce. So it was going to be crazy. And COVID hit. So when they did that, we was like, oh, y'all going to do this? They did it small because they didn't have everybody. So they was like, we only just want the members of the group, Chuck, Flav, Terminator, and that's it. And Griff. So that's how they did that. So, I mean, we ain't never won a Grammy. So,
okay.
I don't even know why we got a Lifetime Achievement Award. We didn't never won a Grammy. We're gonna give you a Lifetime Achievement Award, but you don't get a Grammy.
All right.
We sold a lot of records, man. We sold a lot of records. We should have got like the way they're giving Grammys out now. Should have had like 15 of them by now.
Exactly.
Speaking of a lot of records, Keith, let's talk about the first rap record. All right. Fatback, what is it? Fatback Band's King Tim the Third.
Ours was King Tim the Third. Fatback Band song was shoot, I forgot the name of it.
Personally, Jack. Is that it?
You know what? Why am I drawing a blank on the name of the song?
Personally, Jock.
Personality Jock.
Personality Jock. There we go. All right. Personality.
See, that's why it was the first. We called it a personality Jock.
Okay.
King Tim rapping, and the Fatback Band was, because they all was from Queens, so they was if you y'all want to know real stories and how everything blended with hip hop and everything.
Yeah.
Check out TL Cross. He does these little 5-minute stories and connects the dots from like the Fatback Band and King Tim III and the BT Express and all of them and rappers and Russell and how everybody got their little thing. It's he does a little history and his shit is blowing up, man. His shit is so crazy they should put it on Netflix. It's just 5-minute segments. That's of awesome. How he came up in Queens and how he connected dots from the Queens rappers to Brooklyn rappers to the Harlem rappers when he starts with Harlem and then comes to the Long Island and then how Nas got found hanging with Large Professor through MC Search, who I did their first album.
Oh, man.
These stories are bananas how he connects the dots.
Keith, I have a question.
All of us doing this. And
Gabe, are you hearing that? Gabe, put him down.
So when you worked with Search on the Cactus album, those samples you guys used were fantastic. And then the direction of each track after the other had a flow. Like Polyethylene Pan from Beatles. It just kind of like the transitions were amazing.
That was like, I did their first single, Step Into the AM. The rest was like Sam 7. They came in and did the rest because we only wanted to do one single. My brother was like, we only want to do one single. But we kind of gave, Searching them kind of new, but we just gave them their inspiration to do that. And Step Into the AM was their first single. So that kind of put them on the block.
Such a great song.
So that was that. It was kind of like, white rappers. All right, I'll do it. I was like, and getting them together was kind of cool. And I'm like, and I'm vicious in the studios with rappers, man. I'm hard. I've watched the greatest MCs get down, from DJ Hollywood to Eddie Chiba to the late great Starsky and all of them, and growing up understanding Melly Mel and Keith Cowboy and the Cold Crush Brothers, man, and all JDL and AD and Grandmaster Caz and all of them. I from Long Island, we just watched them and studied them. So when I'm in the studios with them, I'm in there doing things like, your lyrics ain't popping. It ain't all your how you are projecting the lyrics on the songs ain't popping. I mean, I was searching Pete, and I almost got into it because I was like, y'all lyrics is kind of, white guys, your lyrics is kind of whack right now. Not the writing of it.
Right.
It was great. I'm always about the performance of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the performance because I come from the stage to the booth era. That's why.
Yeah.
You had to be nice in the streets, in the stage. You doing a party, you grab the mic. So you got 300 people, 400 people at a party at a venue. You're gonna grab that mic. You better not fuck up.
Yeah, because you don't have the luxury of recording it over again until you get it right in that scenario. Yeah. So that makes absolutely a lot of sense.
And Chuck was one of those guys that was like that. The longer he recorded, the better he got. When I got to LL, that motherfucker came in and blazed his shit in one take, and I've never seen a one take because everybody go over. He did it in one take. I was like, I made him do it over 3 more times because I didn't believe he was. I said there was gotta be a fuck up in there somewhere. Nope. That motherfucker came in, knew his shit, pow, laid it. Wow. And you understand that was then when everybody needed time to do complex rhymes and get it right and the flow right and the feeling. Not L.
Wow.
He had it. So
now we talked about this before. What'd you do with Janet?
We did remixes for her. Chuck did a song with her.
Okay.
But we did then after that, Jimmy Turner used to call us to do remixes.
The 18.
But we actually Chuck did a song with Janet. I forgot the name of the song. And then here's a crazy one. My now pastor wrote the lyrics for the song for Chuck. My man
That's
Carl
good.
Dehaney. But Carl was he was great with the pen. And at that time, Chuck didn't really have no vibe for it. So Carl said, I got something. So we wrote it for them. And so we did that. But then we did That's the Way Love Goes.
Yes.
And when we did the remix to that, Jimmy and Terry and them flipped out. So you gotta understand, when we did that record, like, and it was like the early 90s, you know, That's the Way Love Glow is slow. It's like about what, 90 beats, like 90 beats per minute.
Yeah.
Sped that shit up to like almost like 108.
Mm.
Now you gotta understand, doing that in the 90s, not with the technology we got in 2021.
Right.
We pitch shifted the vocals up. So you didn't realize she was going up. You know, we kept the pitch. So that was we was good for technology like that.
Groundbreaking
stuff like that. So we took That's the Way Love Goes and turned that shit into damn like a dance record.
I remember that. No, I remember now. I think that's the 1819, because there was a whole big album for DJs that was released for all the remixes for that.
Yeah.
And that was hot. That was hot.
A big remix album, and we did, you know, and then after we did the joint, Jimmy and Terry wanted to do some more like radio style edits, because we did edits for the club and banging. Like, this has got to be banging in the streets, like, you know.
All right.
That's how we approached everything.
Wow.
So everything had to be banged. That's why we never really did slow records. We always did up tempos, and we did dance music. Everything had to be that, because we come from a DJ era where we had nightclubs, man. We was running nightclubs and doing mobile work, and it was always about the party. You know, we did weddings sometimes.
Right.
We were park jams, halls, and nightclub, and we had the radio station. So we wasn't about slow music. We wasn't about nothing low tempo.
Okay. All right. And,
hey, Keith, sorry to interrupt, Greg. I just want to ask Keith a quick question. Are there any artists that you haven't worked with that you, maybe your top 2 or 3 people that you say I'd love to work with, whether they're hip hop artists or not, just artists that you would love to work with if the opportunity presented itself?
Great.
Now?
Alive or from the past?
I don't know. Man, there's a ton of them, man. Like, I never got to do Tupac, but I had the opportunity when he came out of jail before he got to death row, when he was still on the Interscope. But I was doing another project, so I didn't really have time to do that, because I knew the girl who was A&R in this project. I hang out with her husband all the time. She was working with my ex-wife, Karen Raitt. She used to work at Interscope. And she's like, I got Tupac, he's coming out of jail, and I need some music. And like, I was tied up in the studio doing 90 other things. So that would have been one. That would have been cool. We could have done one for Juice, for the Juice soundtrack.
That movie was recorded in my hometown, by the way.
maybe no. I mean, I would say Coochie Rap would have been one that would kind of been cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who else? Now, I mean, later on, Nas would have been one that I thought I would have loved to did something with.
Yeah,
but not. I think, you know,
that would have been a dope collaboration too.
Yeah, artists. Wow, I really wanted to do one with Cindy from In Vogue. But a label, when we was trying, once again, we was doing the Juice project, the label didn't want her to have a record on there. So you have to get mad at labels, man. They used to treat rap, even when it was popping, like, So, you know, even with Cindy and I, the lady, you know, my homegirl that ran East West, I mean, they was at their high point with In Vogue, and we was trying to like because Cindy had a big part. Why not have a record, you know? So when I look at stuff like that, the movie is a cult movie on HBO. Because they always, between that and Showtime, they're always showing that movie. Now it's like the Netflix now. Mark Cass is going there and checking it out. And it's a damn shame that Cindy, who's a great singer, didn't have a song in that movie.
Yeah.
It's like, now it's like, what? Because of at that time, everybody wanted to stop something, and now you have a artist came out of a great group, could have had something in a movie that when everybody comes to it, they'll still know her. But you know, that's the politics of the game from that perspective. But I mean, there's so many people that I would love. I mean, I would have loved it. Did one with Curtis Mayfield.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow. He was, before he died, he had did this little documentary, and he was a big Public Enemy fan.
Very cool.
He was a big Public Enemy fan. There's some cats out there that I would have been like, man, we got to them. Been crazy.
All right.
That's why you're the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I guess. I just, those are my favorites and stuff like that, you know. Right. Like, yeah, it just, people have changed, like that made change and stuff like that. I think Gil Scott-Heron would have been, Chuck and Gil Scott-Heron would have been, I don't know what it would have been, but that shit would have been bananas.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy. I don't know what would have came out of that.
Damn.
Some revolutionary shit. I was like, you know. But.
Nice. So what you in the Smithsonian for?
That means you're a relic and a fossil. That's what they pushing you out, boy. That's like, put him in the Smithsonian with all of the relics. I'm just in there in just a hip hop zone, man. It's like, actually, this is the first time they put a production team in there.
That's great.
You know, it's more like you got Public Enemy, but then there's the Bomb Squad in there too.
Good.
So that's not great. Like, you know, it's not like from the artist perspective. Okay. From the producer perspective. You know.
No, that's great. I mean, it's passing your knowledge down. I mean, 100 years from now, you're making your mark. I mean, I think a lot of us, that's why a lot of us do this, and a lot of these DJs, you know, that come out to the expo, wherever they go to come see us, and all these cons and NAMM, etc. They do that because, you know, that's one of their ultimate goals, my friend. You know, you've done it. You've done the ultimate goal. God bless you.
I done it at a time where it wasn't as we done it at a time when it wasn't as saturated. I won't use the word saturated, but that's the only way I can find it, because now it was at a time when we did it that, why don't y'all go get a real job, as opposed to now this is school. Mm-hmm. This is curriculum.
Yeah. So
it's that's why, you know, where we are, and then we took a chance from understanding, like, I mean, DJing since I was 13. So you take from 74 and gathering knowledge up until then DJing, and then from the 8th grade to even through college, we kind of took DJing seriously. Like, you know, it kind of kept me out of trouble, kind of. But it kept me in the focus, kept the crew in the focus. It kept us doing something where we wasn't going to sell dope on the corner. You know, everybody was selling dope everywhere. So don't think it's not just a Bronx or Brooklyn situation. It's everywhere. So in every black neighborhood. So that's the common denominator that we all have. So, but we just chose to like throw parties. Yes, there's fights at our parties. Somebody want to bring a gun. You know, there's no insurance. We just hope nothing happened, and we hope everybody comes home safe. But if the music is good and everybody's popping, we barely have fights at our parties.
Yeah, like
very, very little. We DJ for other people who tried to do that, where they have fights and small riots. You know, so man. I brought my homies, man, that were just like, they didn't play. They didn't care where you coming from. The thing is, if you was coming from Brooklyn and want to start trouble in Long Island, the problem was you had to leave Long Island to get back to Brooklyn. So you ain't getting out of it. There's one exit out of our town. That's the only road you know you were getting out of. So You want to try it? You want to try it? So, beat downs was regular. I'm talking about craziness, but this all the stuff shaped us into doing what we do. The African American studies at Hofstra University.
I'll tell you one of the things, Greg, and then Keith too, I wanted to go back for a second about the bomb squad being in the Smithsonian. What I love about that is it's like it can show people that you don't have to be front center stage to make it to that level. You can be a part of a production crew. You can be a part of the things that happen behind the scenes, and you can still attain the same level of recognition and achievement in your career. And I just think that's super cool that you guys have been able to set that example through that.
Yeah, I mean, it's everybody played a part and played a role. We all played a role to do that. I mean, look, we wasn't looking to do nothing. Like when they decided to do that, we're gonna do this. Like, okay, it's just that it comes from the fact of the matter is we made an impact with the music so deep that you had to. I mean, Flip Mode Squad, they made a lot of joint hit squad made a lot of joint stuff, but it just when you make a life-changing music, when you make music that like people say, I love this song. Yes, you love this song, but when you actually make songs that changes legislation and changes the way how we live, not from the how we live, this make me feel good today. No, how we live as an economy and how we live as a mind focus. Come on, all the shit that's going on, fight the power is still pertinent today, 30 years later.
Yes, it is.
So when you make those kind of songs, those are the songs I call songs of change. Everybody made hot songs. Jay-Z got stacks of hot songs. But when you make songs of change and the change of landscapes of people's daily lives across the world, that's different. Yeah. That's why we got in.
That's awesome.
That's because we made those songs that I've seen young kids remake. I mean, high school kids remake. I saw these kids. I should have saved it. They was on Instagram. They redone Terror Dome. Why? They took the word "Welcome to the Terror Dome."
Wow.
Wow.
Like that. Yo, welcome to the Terror Dome. What you want to do? Knuckle up. We're at that point right now. So, you have that. Bring the noise. Bring it. You want change? Let's go.
Well, Spike Lee used "Fight the Power," right?
Well, that was he made it for him.
And
want to do that.
That's the good point. So you made that for Spike Lee.
That's the only way that song came out. We would have never. We would have thought about making that song as a song. When you get into scoring movies and shit like that, then you got to think about the movie. So that was he wanted stories about. This is how it went. He loved Public Enemy. We were the only crew that had force at that time. So, at that time it was KRS because Scott had died. If Scott was still alive, it'd probably been a different thing. He might have went to KRS because Scott had another vision. So, even though KRS still wrote those songs, but we was kind of like that new street thing, which was a little bit different. And then the name Public Enemy didn't single out any one person. So it's a group. So which just has a bigger impact. So he wanted to do Lift Every Voice and Sing. And my brother destroyed him, where the hell are we gonna mess with that? Out of that. That's not that wasn't the anthem. He that was his kind of choice that he wanted us to kind of flip. But that wasn't the anthem of 1989 in Brooklyn and Long Island and what we had and the racial tension. Did they voice and sing?
No.
It was about us fighting back.
Yep.
So You know,
Hell,
Chuck
yeah.
took the title. Now the DJ world comes in.
Okay.
Took the title from the Isley Brothers. So all it is playing that song. The song was based off of that, but we just changed it totally. Because Fight the Power is the same thing about Isley Brothers. It was about making change.
Okay.
Mhm.
Same principle.
That's right.
And like you said, the 1989 theme, right? I mean, that's the first lyric.
1989. The number.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
number.
First lyric.
Another summer.
Yeah, it brings me back. Yeah, no, totally, it brings me back. So that was an anthem for wow. That's
I mean, it wasn't. We didn't know what to be an anthem. It just fit the movie.
okay. It just
It was
evolved
the
that way.
perfect. That's what we call scoring. We scored the music to the movie, but it had to be devastating to the point where it's like, because we saw parts of the movie where the fight came in and the tension, and it had to be angry,
Mm-hmm.
and it had to be hard on the one and up tempo.
Mm-hmm. I fit.
Everything wasn't like a fluke. Like, no, we orchestrated that.
All right.
It was done very much intentionally. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Everything to the hi-hat was done intentionally.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You focused on what you had to do, and that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was in a zone. It was like I just did Terradome. Like, go, keep it going. So, you know, it's that, you know, it's that thing that makes music made us what we are. And like I said, we never thought about it. We just got Chuck wrote a lot of stuff that got off his chest. We all got into the mode of production, and they had to do this and they had to do that and they had to do that, and then then we had to make it longer because Spike wanted Branford Marsalis to do on it, who was a big fan of Public Enemy, but his brother Wynton couldn't stand rap music.
Oh,
hated rap. It's like, why you hate us? Like, he couldn't stand it. But Bradford was the younger brother who was dope. He was down because we kind of like his age, like his zone. That's why he wanted to get on it. It was whatever.
Yeah.
Get down. And plus it was a Motown. It was on Motown. It wasn't on Def Jam. It was a Motown song that they did a deal with Def Jam to put us on there so it could be a Motown record. So in actuality, Fight the Power is a Motown record.
How about that? Dave, go ahead. You want to?
We just, as a group, as an artist, we was on Def Jam, but Motown had the soundtrack for the Brooklyn movie. Can't think of the name of the movie now. Motown had the soundtrack.
I got a question for you, Keith. You know, you had mentioned earlier Netflix, and you know, we are kind of in the day and age of like documentaries about everything. Do you think we'll ever see a documentary about Public Enemy?
That's up to the crew.
Yeah,
that's a crew thing. You know,
I think that'd be an amazing
a
story.
Documentary, docuseries. That's up to the crew. I know it's just like that. You know, we all got. It's like everybody got to get together and agree on that.
Yeah,
it's like, and it's it's a lot of us. We don't do half. Like if this thing's going out, everybody's involved and everybody gets it. Now everybody can tell their own little personal story, you know. But as a whole crew, everybody gotta be involved in that. I mean, I think it'd be amazing. Warranted now? Everybody thinks it might be. Is it warranted? You really can't tell our story in a 2-hour flick. You know, it's got to be like, yeah, you said a documentary. I would rather have a docu-series.
Yeah, sort of like RZA is doing with the Wu-Tang story, kind of a thing. I think that'd be super dope with you guys. Damn.
Oh, it's got to be above and beyond. And then my vision would be, the director would have to be really like. You know, you have to get a big director. Like, he got to oversee it. Like, I'm going to throw a name out. Ron Howard did this.
Ooh.
It's between, but my other bigger choice would be if Denzel directed it. Denzel directed it.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Nice.
It's that kind. there's people that I would like to see. Denzel, Forrest Whitaker,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or it can be even crazy if James Cameron did it. He's a huge Public Enemy fan.
Nice.
Like I would get people that are fans.
Right.
Even if Tom Hanks directed it, because they're fans. See, that's the thing. I would find a director that's a fan and not a director
Mhm.
that's in somebody's pocket.
Yeah, that makes
Get
a lot
that
of
passion.
sense. Wow.
Passion, energy, yeah, that's great.
Which any one of them can do this because they're
Yeah.
fans. They talk about the group all the time. So, you know, just getting all the numbers right and whatever people together and how it goes and set it up. And
I think Gabe asked you who your influences were. And if I'm double asking, my apologies. But who were some of your influences growing up and doing it?
my mom.
Nice. Oh, great answer.
My
No.
mom she was an
Great
influence. She gave us she like out of her like 9 brothers and sisters, she was the only one decided she didn't want to have kids growing up in Harlem
Okay.
because it was bananas. When she got married, she got my dad to get a house out on Long Island, and so we can grow up in that world, and so we can see the difference. And that was the biggest thing. She knew the difference. She kind of like knew that we was into DJing because she used to help us. She used to, my mom used to work the doors at some of our parties. And,
Cool.
we would get motherfuckers that would try her. and they will all, I always have my crew, working in, and I remember one kid wanted to fight my mom. So while I'm DJing, my brother and them is there. This other kid, my other guys that's working with us, they was ready to whip him up. And it was funny, man. And that funny is kind of sad. So the kid that wanted to fight my mom, then nothing went down because he was trying to get over on her. My mom was like, "You ain't getting in here." Like my mom, like she's from Harlem, man. She like, "You ain't getting in this party, nah." And then my homies came through. And was like, "Yo, nah, dude." My man said, "Yo, if he comes back in, he's mine, because I'm wrecking him." And the kid that was trying to get in, I'm gonna keep names out of this. He was one of the stick-up kids. Yeah, this is you understand. This is like late 70s. 70s is stick-up kids. Everybody's a stick-up kid. Because they ain't got nothing. Everybody wanted to be a stick-up kid.
Yep.
So then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, we see my mom's reading the paper and his name comes up and the kid that wanted to fight him, and it comes up in the paper. My mom said, "Ain't that kid that wanted to fight me?" Yeah, somebody killed him in one of the lots in our town.
Wow.
So, so it was one of those, it was one of those times. We didn't have a lot of those, like the Bronx and all them, Brooklyn constantly, but we had them, and then throwing parties, everybody's just, the greatest thing about hip hop is always it spoke to people that didn't have nothing around the world. So when you're throwing parties, you're trying to get, make a little dollars, and you got this stick up kids looking at you like ready to get busy. But I knew all of them, so I would sometimes put them to work, get into the party for free. Like, okay, hang out. So if I got an eye on them, and my brother's watching them while I'm DJing, I know they're not gonna rob us. And that's the trust. That is like you gotta do that because it's the 70s, man. Stuff is hard, man. Ain't like it is now.
Security.
You got security, and we had a security crew. So it was like that. It's like you keep them, you keep everybody there. You throwing these parties. They see you making money at the door. What do you think they're gonna do?
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, one of our guys on or gals, Daz1, he's on YouTube, asked a question. He goes, out of your mom's records, which ones do you like? Which ones, were your influences out of the records?
Well, my mom's had some records. Record collection came from my dad. Who left when I was in the 2nd grade.
Okay. All right.
His record. I mean, he was into jazz.
Jazz.
My biggest influence and my brother's biggest influence was my cousin. He turned my cousin Richard. He turned us on to like George Clinton, the Parliament Funkadelic. He liked a lot of funk records. I mean, we had records like, we was real small. My first record was on Love Unlimited Orchestra.
Yeah.
Not Love Unlimited, Love Unlimited.
Mhm.
Barry White. That's before Barry White did his solo, but that was his wife and them. And they did Walking in the Rain with the One I Love. I used to love that song. See, I'm a softie for slow song.
Wow. Okay.
Parties, slow records, red light or light turn out, and then so somebody's parents come to that. Why is all the lights off? Turn these lights back on. So, that was, and then from then, and then our youth center, it kind of branched off from it's kind of the DJing part started at our youth center with a couple of guys, my man Ujima and my neighbor Crandall and another kid, Mitch. They we started. I got pictures of it back when I was back then in the youth center. So that was a little program in our little small youth center. And Ujima used to work at WWRL, like under like Frankie Crocker and all of them that was coming on. And they became big radio jocks. WWRL was an AM station coming out of Jersey. It's funny how George Clinton tells the story of that. But he was like a intern and started to do the same thing at our spots and at our youth center. And then he wrote a letter to a couple of the record labels like CBS and ABC Records and all of them. And they actually thought we was a real radio station broadcasting out of Roosevelt Long Island.
Wow.
The only thing we had was we just broadcasted in the youth center. That was as far as it went.
That's
Then it was back then was our place to hang out. So my influence I've always been around records, but my cousin Richard kind of hooked us up with the new stuff when he coming back. He came home from Vietnam, and he's like, "Yo, I heard about this dude," because he was old enough. And he's like, I told George that story. How my cousin influenced us on his music. And I was young, man. It's like what, 7th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. So that was that thing. And then we've always had records, and we just bought records from the record store, like the Listen and the later 70s, that's another story. But it was that. My mom's had records. She had one song that she loved by Dorothy Moore, Misty Blue. That was her song.
Yeah, I remember that.
Was her song. So, but other than that, we started DJing. Then, as we started to get popular, my godmother, man, she was into real estate, and then all of a sudden she like this 10th, 11th grade. Y'all understand? I was hanging out in nightclubs at the age of 15, and they didn't even check. We used to get fake IDs. They didn't care. So, I used to. My godmother had these bars that she would have. That my moms and them would hang out, and if they couldn't get a band, this is when DJs was coming up, like 77, 70, 77, 78, around there. She was like, "Well, Keith and Hank, y'all got to come to my place and play," because you couldn't tell our elders no if we wasn't DJing that we was making money. So we had to, okay, on Jackie. It's like we there playing the records, keeping the tunes on it. You got this record? My mom's and them crew, you got that record? And like, yeah, we got it all. Just do our thing. So that's how we got into it. We didn't fall across it, but it's just something that we did outside and running to the park and playing ball. We had a sound system, built stuff. Man, see if I can get all this on film, this would be crazy. Just reenact this. Funny. It'll be funny as hell too.
Back to George Clinton. I know he worked with Rick Rubin. Would you ever consider working with Rick Rubin on a project?
Yeah, I'll do Rick with a project. If it ever comes up. But it's just two producers in the room. We got to find an artist. That's
a good point.
Like, what we gonna do? Rick. Rick is great. Rick is the meaning of Def Jam. Music. All right. Russell wanted to do Def Soul. Russell wanted to do R&B. Rick was like, we're a rap label. But you know, I had a bunch of influence. Like all styles of music influenced them. So I have my heroes like Earth, Wind and Fire, the Herbie Hancocks, the Smokey Robinsons, Smokey Best.
Mm-hmm.
And it's our songs are mostly parted after the Motown arrangements.
I can feel that. Yeah,
you can feel that, right? Because like, it'll start one way, and then sometimes Motown breaks into another zone, and then they come back.
Nice.
Wow.
Very cool.
Greg, I got one more question in my mind right now I want to ask, and then I'll let you take it over from there.
All right.
Just because it's something I always wonder about people. So, Keith, I want to ask you from a personal and professional standpoint, what do you want the legacy of Keith Shocklee to read like?
I never looked at it. I'm so modest with stuff. I'm like, I don't look at it's kind of cemented with the crew.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. I've been through some stuff, man. You had some life-changing situations. Like, I'm fine. Listen, it's in the history books. The legacy is there. What I'm leaving now, I'm in the zone of just trying to be ahead of the curve, teach new young people what's up, and still trying to stay just knowledgeable of what's happening. You know, I mean, that's our legacy is cemented, and it's cemented hard. Like, what else I'm going to ask and change? Okay, you could change that I went out with a crazy girl. and if chicks is like, what crazy girl did he go? Is he talking about me? Is he talking about me? No, it's just a joke.
That's awesome.
But
I don't know nothing.
You know, it's y'all know, man. Y'all type it in. It's there. I can't say no more. I mean, the Smithsonian, once again, the relic. It's in the African American Museum. As a relic, it's there. It's there. So it's like, you go there and see us as a crew. It's not like I don't look at my individual self. I just look at us in the crew. We all did it together. Been doing it we all did it together since high school. Wow. The grade school.
That's
so
awesome.
With that, my brother and all of us, everybody got their own individual stories within this, but at the end of the day, it's all the crew. So when you look at when you go and type in Public Enemy, damn, there's 16 of us come up in there.
Yep.
It's like, so that's the legacy. I'm part of a situation in the institution. Yeah, I might get they might know my name more than others in there, but it's who remembers? I mean, unless you deep into music,
I love that community. I like that family and that community sense that you guys have. And I'm sure if we asked any of the other members, they would answer pretty much the same way. And so I love that.
It'll be the same.
I love that.
The same. Because we came in this not thinking that this was going to. We came from, when you come from kind of like Long Island and you're middle class and it's about go to college and get a job, and that's kind of ingrained. I mean, everybody had that in them.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of like, this was a blessing to do what we wanted to do at a time when we were struggling. Our friends was getting jobs, man, like had jobs and apartments, and we was living at home, my mom's, and trying to figure it out, and had a daughter, and we trying to figure it out. We was trying to figure it out. And then it's a chance that you take, not knowing if you're going to be successful at it.
Right.
People don't, and then the things you got to give up to be successful at this. It's like, this people, a lot of people thought we just got a deal from Def Jam. I've been DJing since I was 13. I'm 59. We didn't know where it was going to go, but we built the knowledge of that. That's why I know equipment. So I build my own cables. So That's because out of necessity of DJing. But we had an understanding of what it was like to bring people into a facility, pack it out, throw down, and do it again. You know, we changed it. I was making mixtapes in '75.
Wow.
We didn't call them mixtapes.
Right.
It was like we was the original street team. Like there's names for that now. But when you went back that time, and I ain't the only ones at that time. You got Flash, you got people in the Bronx, Brooklyn. That's a street team. We didn't have no name for it. You just did it.
Mm-hmm.
You just did it. So making mixtapes, and it wasn't like, man, mixtapes, 75, 76, going into there, 77, 78. I had to make individual tapes because people would come with a list of songs that they wanted, and they wanted to make sure that you didn't play the same thing that they heard on somebody else's tape, because everybody wanted to be individuals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I want my own. Don't you put his song on that? And they'll take the basic stuff that they like, but then I had to pick and choose who get a hot song that nobody's heard before.
That's awesome.
That's like, and then I had to make 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 120-minute tapes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was all day in the summer in the basement. Like,
wow,
mom's basement, just making joints. Orders are coming in, and you're making. It wasn't like you make one and duplicated it,
right?
Because nobody would buy that. They're like, we don't want that. You better make mine special. I need this record. So it's a list. So you're talking about 120-minute tape if somebody want one. Those are the worst tapes though, but 60 minutes I love it because 60 minutes was shorter. It lasted. People wanted 90 minutes. I don't want to have to flip it in 30 minutes.
Right.
Give me 45 minutes and I'll flip it. So that was, we had all that, all that to deal with. Now everybody just wanted the same thing. It's cool, but it's a whole different game now.
Yeah.
Then you had to make, what is it? You said 120 minutes. That's a 2-hour John, right?
That's like a 2-hour tape. Like
the problem with them is, and I'm showing my age, they used to break the most because you had more tape.
Yeah,
because of that. Yeah, they break the most.
People
so
thought they were getting, but we charge more for that. You
right.
20 minutes, I charge more.
Yeah. Costs more money.
It was rare, but people wanted it because they wanted the length, and they wanted records that they didn't want to buy. So actually, in actuality, we was file sharing on the down low. Nobody really, if you want to equate that today, it's like, okay, I'll make you a mixtape, so you ain't gotta buy. You get all your favorite songs, right? Your favorite songs on the mixtape, and you got it, so you could play it, all the shit that you like.
All right, there, Napster. Call you Napster.
Where's the original Napster? You go look at it, was the original Napster. All of us that's doing tapes. Everybody was doing tapes. You had the Brucey B's and all them back up in the Bronx and all that. Up in Harlem. I'm sorry. You had all them doing stuff like that. Junebug and late great Junebug from Disco Fever. They all doing shit. Everybody's doing shit. It was just at that time. It was just something that we did. So when I kind of challenged my Bronx people, and because Brooklyn attest to it, when they said it started in the Bronx, I must call it the rhyming part of hip hop started in the Bronx, and everybody had their different styles, but the culture of hip hop, just everybody was doing, but we didn't know what we was doing. Everybody said hip hop started with the park jams. Well, the disco DJs was doing park jams too.
Right.
That's what Love Is the Message. Love Is the Message wasn't broken by the hip hop crew. It was broken by the disco DJs because they wanted that break part, and it was long. And then they would MC on it. If you had a DJ Hollywood or a DJ Eddie Chiba. So it's kind of a melting pot, but the originator of a lot of it is kind of like the place that kind of put it all together was the Bronx, because they had MCs going into rhyming, and you really didn't have that much. You had some of that in Brooklyn, but it wasn't like rhyming like the way they was doing it in the Bronx. They'll say a little rhyme verse, and then if you want to go into it, I won't even say Harlem. I'm going to say the Bronx. Brooklyn, rather. I'll go to Harlem more so than all of them with the MCs. Was, DJ Hollywood.
Yep.
So that was, and anybody else on the line on the internet calling so DJ Hollywood, that's the y'all. I don't know y'all. I know my man Hollywood. I know my man Hollywood from up in Harlem.
Gotcha.
I'll tell you, Greg, any young viewers that are watching right now need to realize the amount of just complete hip hop history and music history, for that matter, that Keith is dropping. This is awesome, man. I'm like a candy store right now with you, Keith.
My history is so crazy. When I was talking about my godmother, we had the bars we had to deal with. Her sister, which is my dear Aunt Barbara, was married to Gene Red, who founded Kool in the Game.
Wow.
How about that?
If you go in there, you see all the records from the old school Kool in the Game produced by Gene Red. And then he named the publishing after his daughter, which is my good. We just all family. Stephanie and all of them. So it's like we've always been there. My family, we've always been there. And me and my brother as DJs, we was the record players for our families. We was the record player. When there was a party or Bobby, we had come on, bring your stuff. We need okay.
I love it.
Then we had to figure out, family,
Nice.
was free. Friends, we had the basement parties, all that. So that's why I said we were always doing it. But when the style of the rhymes was coming through, and the way that the Bronx was putting it down, that was totally different than the way Hollywood. That's why it was more like MCs, because they was the master of ceremonies, and Hollywood, they would just say phrases, come on, they'd get the crowd. They was crowd motivators,
Okay.
So they would get the party rocking, and then that rapper would come in and start doing long rhymes. So there's two worlds to this. You got crowd motivators like a wedding DJ. Basically.
Like a hype man. He's a hype man, right?
DJ, you getting everybody popping, like, yo, get it going. get
right.
it going. Now we have the bride and the groom. Come on, everybody. That's what all that comes from. Weddings. So and being from Long Island, that's what the trip that everybody, tripped about. But Long Island, a lot of people from Long Island migrated from Harlem. Most of them migrated from Harlem. Some came from the Bronx. Brooklyn is part of Long Island, people. It's not as they wanted to be their own state. That's how wild Brooklyn is. they was actually going for it back in the late 70s, early 80s. They was trying to be its own state. And I argue with people, Brooklyn is not part of Long Island. I stop arguing with people that don't understand geography.
Yeah.
Mentally, no. Geography, yes. And then mentally, they are not part of Long Island. So that's where we hung out. Family, relatives, all over. They coming out to Long Island cooler. Life is a slight slower. But Suffolk County, where Eric and Patterson is from, it's really slow. It's really slow. And we're saying that from Nassau County. But
different boroughs, my friend. Different boroughs.
Man, different boroughs, different counties, But we all had a common denominator. And I'll give you one thing. Roosevelt was kind of like for DJs, especially with sound system, because I come from the sound system culture.
Okay.
Not from the rap culture, because it was the sound system culture first. Came from the Jamaicans.
Yeah.
Right? So they had the sound systems, like you deal now, Sting International, they got crazy shit. He's always had crazy shit. But when you talking about the earlier ones, Maboya, Plummer, my man King Charles and them, even like Donnie Dance Master and all of them, I think Donnie was more like Haitian. I think I gotta remember that. But my boy and all of them, the culture of that came from. The sound system it was sound system first, then the MC. It wasn't the MC first. So everybody need to get that out their heads. So sound system culture, DJs in the park, bringing at that time. Now we triple that, but you gotta understand, you got 5,000 watts in the year 1972. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like that, we still primitive. You didn't have a Q system. So that's how far back we go. You know, I go, my crew go, everybody that's down. I still bring them a crew that's still around. If they still around, bring them up. So it's a whole thing, and this what made us who we are, and to get into this, the things that we've done, because we had that approach. You know, you just couldn't. You know, we just wasn't your average Long Island kids.
All right. No, I love that sound system. Look at your PV guy though. That sound, you got to hit your chest. You got to feel it.
Gotta hit it.
You know what I mean? It's got to feel. You got to feel it, and that's part of the show. So I get that. I get the whole roots of this being based in the sound system. And then you got your MC, who's your hype guy.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Flav fits the bill right there, because I see that guy, you know, hyping that crowd. You don't need a hype guy because you have him.
Yeah.
Flavor was the distraction of the lyrics.
All right.
That's my man. We know that. He was a distraction for the lyrics, because the lyrics at those times, the government couldn't even. It was too harsh for the government.
Right. He was there to kind of balance that.
He was there to balance that shit out.
Yep.
That's why he was there. I mean, he's a great. Don't get me wrong. He's a great musician.
Yeah.
That motherfucker plays everything, but his role was to balance out and keep the lyrics more like a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well,
we getting kicked off of labels. Chuck is arguing with, at that time, Tipper Gore, Gore's wife, and Al Gore's wife, and we arguing with them, and the C. Dolores Tuckers and all of them and these people, and we was fighting with the government hard about what we saying. Where's this rebel rousing music? No, my God, y'all are destroying the people's story. It's fine now. Y'all just need to let it be. Why y'all want to disrupt shit?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what you have now. It's fine now.
Yeah.
All that shit we've been saying back then was going to come to a head.
Right.
And it took 30 years for that shit to happen. Post Martin Luther King.
Right.
Like it's still after that.
Yeah.
Music is a powerful force, man. Music is a powerful force.
Yeah. I think it's a powerful force now, but the biggest powerful force is the fucking internet.
Oh yeah.
That's it's the greatest thing right now. We can get into that. Boy, I can talk with Dave. Like I can tell you the greatest thing and the worst shit about COVID.
I ain't going nowhere. Let's talk.
What are you saying? You want to do overtime or what?
COVID.
I am locked into this seat until Keith has to go.
I can show you the worst thing about COVID was we lose people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now the greatest thing about COVID slowed everybody the fuck down.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did.
Sit down, y'all.
Stay in your house.
Everybody's on the same playing field.
Be with your family a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Learn how to live a little bit.
Learn how to slow down.
Slow down. Yeah.
Slow down.
Nice.
Speeding out. Like, you're still that class level is super rich and the low, but everybody can't do nothing now, especially in the music game. You ain't doing no more concerts.
Nope.
And you ain't going back to the 60,000 concerts no time soon.
Nah, no concerts, no clubs, none of that. People aren't dancing together. Ain't no more feeling the vibe. None of that. It's just not happening.
What it is giving people a chance to slow down. And you're going to have the wild ones that can't take it. But people that's been in this situation before and understand how to live like this, those are the ones that's going to kind of flourish, because they're people that's like, I can't do nothing. I gotta go somewhere. Where? But if you sit back, and I call this time is for problem solvers. You can't skate over shit no more.
Yeah.
You can't. You got to solve the problem. You know, we got a lot of problems that's gonna come up, but we got to figure out how to solve them. You know, whatever it is, whether it's in the music, food, just emotion. People's emotions are going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But people are talking more than ever before to each other.
That's a plus.
And you got the hostile ones that think they control the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's getting wild, but people are talking.
True. Yeah, but you hit on the food though. Food shortages now. I mean, hell, what's happening out west with Texas now? There's a big water shortage. Now there's a big this shortage. I mean, you can't get certain pieces of equipment either. That's the other thing. There were certain pieces of equipment you just can't get. You probably still can't get your bicycles and your machines.
Once again, no disrespect to the Texas.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens when you don't believe in certain things. This is the shit that slows you down. Now that issue could have been fixed.
Oh,
but when you're living in a world where you just not paying attention, this will never happen.
Mm-hmm.
When you thinking constantly, especially our people in the office, like, y'all, this will never happen. Whoever thought you would get, listen, you never thought you would get snow like that in Texas.
Right. No, and they never thought it would freeze either. That's why they don't have the insulation.
But here's a problem. We're in global warming. Shit is all fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what everybody's been preaching for the last few years. Al Gore's been talking about this for the longest.
Right. Everybody acts surprised. Oh my goodness.
Everybody acts surprised. Like, they've been talking this to fuck global warming and this shit is real.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, it snowed here, and all of a sudden it got hot.
Yeah.
Sun came out and it got hot. What kind of shit is that? So, slow down, people. We got to slow down. And we got to figure out this shit, you know? So this is why I get into my zone of what's happening. These are all the songs that we've been talking about. Every artist you got now, trust me, since y'all been online, how many artists, how many people y'all have gotten to that you wouldn't never got to when you wasn't online?
Right. No, you're right.
People checking on families more so than ever now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're right.
That's the good part, but it's a price at that.
Right. Hell, LL at the beginning of this gave out his personal phone number, and he says, "Look, you gotta share some blessings with me, or share something good. I'm gonna talk to you. If not, you're gone." I mean, that's amazing. You know, stuff like that
all day long now.
Yeah, man.
You know, these apps coming out, Clubhouse, all this other stuff. Everybody's online. You know, you got the DJs. You know, keeping people at a level. But what it's going to do is go back to music. It's going to kill the record labels. Yeah,
well, I mean, the record labels hopefully saw the light. You know,
they ain't never going to see the light.
No, they ain't.
I've been in it. They ain't never going to see the light.
No.
They're going to try to control it because they don't want to lose it. I'm popping shit. This is why I got kicked off of Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Right. No,
that's why. Look, they kicked me off of Instagram for playing music like they was kicking off everybody. Then they kicked me off for a whole day because I kind of like after I made a rant. I don't know if it was because of the rant. now I don't have certain features on Instagram. I don't know if they singling me out because I got my name, so I don't have certain features like, you know, in the stories you can put music in.
Yep.
They took that icon out of mine. I don't know if they did it to anybody else.
Oh, I don't have that icon. I try to tell people. I said, how come I don't have that anymore? They don't like PV artists. That's all. They hate it. Well, I don't know. I don't have it because I
take it personal because Y'all want
I think
I've been kicked off of playing my own records, and like I get it. People, you don't have copyrights, and it's like that, whatever. But the thing is, now that they're scrambling because they're trying to figure out where they're making money now, it's their future money.
Look, man, we could talk about
now y'all get to understand the Public Enemy.
Look,
I Connective. I forgot to talk about my girl at Connective. I talked about it a little bit, right?
He did.
It's a group.
Yeah, you did.
Y'all, if y'all listening, y'all need to follow my homegirl Sarah Lopez, which is my partner. I'm her partner. It's her company, women-owned company, which is kind of like a music publishing sync licensing. So we're doing things with artists that record labels can't get to.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go. Connective Music Group on Instagram. You hit her up. She'll let you know if y'all an artist, DJ. See, now it's a different thing. DJ, streamer, and you're a streamer. You got music. We're doing like music placement and stuff like that. And then we're working on stuff based upon the stuff that we've been building on Twitch, is bringing brands to artists, because this is new for brands. They don't know how to monetize in micro money.
Okay.
What I mean by micro money is like they're still trying to look for the main artists with all of the followers. Like, just one got 1 million followers. Let's cut a deal. Like, you're missing the little artists that's got their own tribe.
Right.
Little DJ that got their own tribe on a consistent level when they online.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, no, it's why we do the job that we do, sir. We're influencers, and there's a lot of people that look up. Yeah.
It's a lot of that. Now getting the brands to understand that's where, we bring that. We that's one of the things we bring to the table. But then we have the music side. We're not a label, so we're kind of a one-stop that have everything for you, for services. We're like a service company. We have DJs, producers, singers, musicians, all that.
All right. Shout out to DJ Milk D. He's in the house. Milk, you need to check that out, man. Connective Music Group. Keith and his girl can hook you up, sir. Connective Music Group on Instagram. Jeff Rush, fellow PV guy, he's in the house too. Jeff, man, you want to take that trance to the next level. Yeah, what up, Jeff? Come on now. Hook up with Connective Music Group right there on Instagram. I can't recommend this gentleman any more highly, because even the guys and gals and the kids at the DJ Entertainment School have looked up to Keith now for years with his influence that he has with the school, with PV. And look, thank you for listening and following. And Keith, thank you for doing this, taking your time to be with us on this show. I mean, we don't want to take any more of your precious time, but we'll talk to you all damn night long, dude.
I would be doing something. I'm putting away 45s, like putting these shits away. 45. I DJ sometimes. I do my 45 set tomorrow night on Twitch.
Okay.
So, y'all hanging out. Y'all ain't doing nothing. I got.
There you go.
What time?
Going at 9 on the East. 9. Like I do like 9 to 12. I mean, I go over if somebody decides to raid me at like 11:45. So I'll kick over and go extra. But 9 to 12. Bring your tequila shots. Oh, tequila! All drinks are on me, y'all.
There you go.
What kind of tequila you drink?
I drink a lot.
I've heard of that brand before.
It's different ones, man. I'm in the mood sometimes for Clase Azul. I used to do Clase. I'm cut down on the Clase Azul. I do the Don Julio, the Blanco and Nejo. That's kind of good. Yeah. It's like the 7th anniversary. I do that. Yeah. The Espolones, and sometimes I'll get some stuff, whatever. I try to keep it good. The Casamigos. Stay on that.
Take it from a man who's been down in Mexico for the past 20 years, and that's all I take is those damn free tequila tours. 100% de agave. That's fine stuff, right? Anything else that doesn't say that, stay away.
Yep.
100%.
I don't. Let's say 100% agave.
Good.
I don't mess with it.
Don't mess with anything else because that'll give you a hangover. You could drink a whole bottle of that, and it won't give you a hangover if you don't mix it. Don't mix it.
I don't mix it.
Nope, don't mix it. Drink a whole bottle of that, you feel fine. You wake up at 7 o'clock.
Greg is a connoisseur like me. I don't mix it. I sip it. I'm straight with it, and I keep it. I don't, because the sugar and all that gives you with mixing it, and I don't mix tequilas. Like if I start off on one tequila, then I move around and go to another version. I would do that if I'm club hopping. If they don't have what I'm drinking all night, but I stay on one tequila.
Okay.
Like for that day, if I start off with Casamigos,
okay,
I don't move out of that.
So you prefer blancos?
I don't do that on. I only drink when I only hit my tequila when I stream.
Now, do you know the difference between the three, Blanco and Añejo and Reposado, as they say?
Reposado.
Reposado. I only say that because I've been on too many damn tequila tours. Añejo, it's the clear. Excuse me, Blanco's the clear stuff. Fresh out the bottle,
like the brown, like the
aged
in
the barrel.
Gold, it's like the gold. They go to the gold version, Reposado.
I think it's 5 years or more.
It's the dark one.
Yeah, one. I think 1 year on Añejo, and then Reposado is 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. I could have it. Yeah, Añejo, yeah, because 1 year.
You just said, is it, you guys talking about Despacito?
Yes.
And speaking of big followers, Ron said we got this party. He throws this big shindig, so we still owe him a party down. I think down his crib for Dee Dee's birthday.
Oh yeah.
So. Yeah.
Shindig.
Yeah, much love to you, Ron.
We'll your shindig, Ron.
And we'll have a big party. Any other questions that you want to ask David? Go ahead, man. I mean,
no, I think I'm good. I mean,
yeah.
First of all, I'm just not trying to fanboy for a minute, but this has been like something I've been looking forward to so much. So I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us tonight. I hope that you and I can continue to keep talking to each other offline as well. That would definitely mean a lot to me, man.
Yeah, I'm good. Y'all just hit me up. Greg, I'll be like all over the place. My mind is always thinking of the next new thing.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
I'm always there.
Well, thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I'm thinking that
I stayed longer than I was supposed to, right? Like
you did.
Off at like 9.
Normally we do it, but just because we get a lot of comments, we got a lot of people here, and there's a lot of special followers, and it's going to replay. And something like this, man, this is gold, and especially what you were saying was coming from the heart. It's going to help out the students and the people that are. Look, this is an educational podcast. It's educating entertainers, not just DJs, singers. People are in bands. People are telling jokes, comedians, man. All of them combined, man. We got all
friends I got friends in every category.
Right? Yeah.
I just brought my comedian friend over. He does a lot of comedy.
Hypnotists, balloon artists. I mean, hell, they're guys that are out there renting.
Make sure there's no helium. Make sure there's no helium in the balloon.
Or no nitrous, right?
Right.
Nitrous, helium, nitrous. Brooklyn, they got helium.
So, all right, I pulled out one of my 45s. I got Curtis Blow the brakes right here. So,
there you go.
I got that one. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, when you said to pull out the 45, so
yeah, Steve Miller. I got Steve Miller. I broke it down.
There you go.
Oh, hold on. I'll raise you a Steve Miller and a Casey and the Sunshine Band.
I'll raise you that, and I'll raise you a and I'll raise you a James Brown. I got the feeling.
Oh, damn. All right. I can only do like rumors by the Timex Social Club.
No! Come on, Keith, hit him. Let's shut him down.
Oh wait, I can ace you with a Tommy James and the Chandel's Crimson Clover.
Done. Don't even try, Greg. Over with. Over with.
Yeah.
I just killed you with the Crimson Clover.
I can't pull out my white Jesse girl.
Yeah.
No. Greg, just put it away. Just put it away.
How about the Payback by James Brown?
Oh boy.
Just humbly put everything to the side here. I would like to, just before we go, Keith, if you'd be interested, I got a couple other guys. I'm going to do a 90s night. It might be a special night. I'll talk to y'all, get y'all together. DJ Cool, he usually hooks up with us. Mr. Let Me Clear My Throat.
Yeah.
He hooks up with us once in a while there at the DJ Expo. And also NAMM. We didn't touch on NAMM. I saw your video there. That was pretty cool. I
don't even know what I do at NAMM.
You did a video. I don't know who it was
half
for.
the stuff I do, I don't know. I don't see.
Yeah, it was more of like a spotlight on an artist, but it was a NAMM spotlight because I attended it virtually this year. Speaking of that, South by
I didn't do virtually. I don't even know what that was.
It's out there. If you look up Keith Shocklee, you'll see yourself out there with a virtual NAMM.
Myself. I might find some.
There's a hologram of Keith Shocklee. Wasn't even the real Keith.
I might find some fit information on me.
South by Southwest is also coming up in March for those that are available. That's also online. So SXX.
SXX.
Yeah. South by Southwest. That's another big music.
Kids watching this. Mute that out.
Yeah, check that out, guys. But hopefully one night we'll have you, maybe DJ Cool, Mr. DJ Too Tough. He's in the Philly area. We'll bring you on. We'll have a little 90s night, little get together, and we'll have you guys talk some war stories and soiree about hip hop and the rap industry. If that's all right with you in the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you with this 45.
Oh boy.
I love it. I love Michael McDonald.
How you not gonna have a Michael McDonald 45 in your crate?
He's my most favorite. He's my most favorite doobie.
Oh yeah, he's everybody's favorite doobie.
Oh, I do have a delicious vinyl.
Oh,
but it's Young MC, Mr. Bust a Move. But
I got that one. No, I got that one.
Yeah,
I got that.
I didn't know he was on Delicious Vinyl
Yeah,
though.
Delicious Vinyl.
Oh yeah.
Now, wait. Now, Tone Loc was also on Delicious, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for everybody that attended. Please, if you really want to get, this was a special podcast with Mr. Keith Shocklee from Public Enemy, who we've been talking to most of the night. God bless this man for being an influence on us, the younger generation. Yeah. For being a PV brother, sponsoring PV Brother in Arms, a big supporter of the DJ Entertainment School.
I should have worn my PV shirt.
Yeah, that's all right. I got the hat here representing.
There you go.
We're gonna have Mr. Paul.
Wait a minute. I got something to represent PV.
You got something to represent? Paul, the East Coast marketing rep's going to be coming on. We're going to do a little equipment showcase because we're going to start to add a little bit of different things. So I think we're going to get Paul on. We're also going to get the president of Glowtronics, Vince, if I have a chance. We'll get him on. And also, Gabe, you've also been talking to our buddy Gabriel, right? From Pro X.
Pro X, yeah.
Yeah, Pro X equipment. Yeah. So I'd like to have those three guys on.
Came back.
Into the future. What you got?
It's my PB representation.
There you go.
My little coffee mug.
I don't have that. I got the glasses. I got the big beer glasses, but I don't have that.
Hey, Keith. Before we go, the gentleman you were talking earlier about does the little 5 minute clips. What was his name again?
The 5 minute clips.
The hip hop,
They call me 10-second Bob. I can't remember.
That's okay. No,
past 10 seconds.
he was. You said he was doing like the 5 minute clips about the history of connecting the dots of hip hop.
TL Cross.
Yes.
TL Cross. Gabe, write that name down. We want to get him on the show.
Talk TL Cross. He does. You can go on his Instagram. They all over the place, but he releases new. I didn't check out his last couple of ones because sometimes I want to get in the mind frame to watch it because I start reminiscing and start calling people. But he does it. It's every Friday, and you go to his Instagram. You got to search through them, but if you want to get he keeps it in a timeline.
Yeah.
So if you got to go back to try to find the first one, And he starts off with that. And then I told other people, y'all really want to know about the sound system culture. This one's done by my man Sonny Black and Amen Ron Lawrence, Amen Ra, that used to be Puffy's producer, and Chuck did the narration of it. It's called Founding Fathers. It's on YouTube. You'll find it on YouTube. You'll get the whole dialogue of the early sound system days that led into hip hop of New York City.
Love it.
Nice.
It's kind of deep. It's like a maybe like a 2-hour documentary. And all the cats, like I knew most of them. And they go in and they talk about it. It's hard. It's hard. You know, Fat Five Freddy and them is in it. So you'll see how it really originated and how you talking about Park Systems. Man, then you get to my homies, the Disco Twins. 2 brothers, Reggie and Robert. They had Bertha sounds. They used to bring Bertha speakers. Bertha speakers was these big ass, like 4 foot high and maybe 8 feet deep, maybe longer, maybe 10, 15 feet deep subs.
Yeah. And
was designed by Richard Long, that did the sound system for the garage. They used to take it out on a mobile system. There's pictures of them too, standing next to the Berthas. And it's all the, like a lot of tricks that Cass is doing now, like some of the stuff Reggie and them was doing, they wasn't beat juggling, but it was kind of like beat juggling, kind of early form back in the 70s.
Wow.
It's like it's hosted y'all now. I mean, now forms is in another stratosphere, but that ancient where the groundbreaking stuff where everybody's doing it today is that thing. So,
all right, guys. Well,
right.
thank you again for being on with us tonight, Keith and Gabe. Good to have you back on with us. Keith, and I know you guys will be seeing Gabe a lot. Yeah, go ahead.
Keith, I'm going to reach out to you. I want to learn more about your involvement with Hofstra.
With Hofstra? Yeah. Hofstra, and I do a lot of stuff with the American Heart Association too. So because of my heart attack, so I do a lot of charity works with them, donations and stuff, and I do streams and shit like that. So it's one of those things. All right,
guys. So thank you once again. Appreciate it. We had a blast with you. Next week, guys, we have reggae artist and producer Sir Ryan. Shane Ryan's going to be joining us next week, so that should be a fun conversation about reggae music and all things islandy, we'll say. And just want to once again thank you everybody for sticking on. It looks like pretty much most everybody was on with us for the full 2 hours, so that's pretty awesome, Keith. They loved you that much. We didn't lose our viewership during the whole 2 hours, so that's a good thing, man.
They want to hear them stories.
Yeah, they do.
They want to hear them Long Island stories. But
yeah, they do.
Come to my stream. I tell stories on my stream.
Perfect. Yeah. There you go. Catch Keith on Twitch tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
All right. Until next week, guys. Make it a great week, everybody. Thank you all for checking in with us. Greg, thanks. You want to close us out?
You know what? Yeah, I just want to thank Keith once again. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Gabe, for coming on in. Thank you for all that you do. Once again, I can't thank you enough for being an influence on all the youngins and all everybody else that comes through the school. You know, we had a bunch of people checking in tonight. And yeah, it's what you do is awesome. And like I said, being in that Smithsonian, it's something to be proud of, man. There's the legacy right there. You know what I'm saying? So much love for you. Thank you, sir.
I hope I don't become fossil fuel.
Never. Fossil energy. It's all energy. It's all positive.
Yeah, take that. I'll take the fossil energy.
It's all positive energy, my friend.
Yep. All right, guys.
Thank you
so much, everybody.
God bless.
Take care.